The following is a live presentation of Retro Sports Network, home of the champions of the past, present, and or future. Well, this be it. This is the American League Championship game. The series is tied at 3 games apiece. The winner has a date with the Houston Astros in Houston starting Monday at noon Eastern. Will it be the Oakland Athletics, who've already played a Game 5 of this postseason on the road? Remember, they went into Chicago and beat them in Game 5 to get to the American League Championship Series. The Seattle Mariners played a Game 5 at home against those pesky New York Yankees, and it was Dan Bell who hit a walk-off home run in the bottom of the ninth to send the Mariners to this ALCS. So, you got the best versus the best, 2 100-win teams. They've gone a distance. Joel Pinero's performance the other night, 6 innings of no-hit baseball, just 1 walk to save the series for Seattle, and now they have a chance to go to the World Series. However, it will be a battle of the aces. Tim Hudson going for Oakland, Freddie Garcia going for Seattle. Now, with only 1 off day between now and the World Series, because this is on Thursday, the 25th of October. The World Series will begin the 27th of October in gameplay. These two, whoever gets this one, they're not going to be able to go probably until Game 2 at a minimum, maybe Game 3. And so that's the setup for you. A big old bag of marbles on the table. We're down to 1 game. It's the American League Championship next, as Retro Sports Network presents Game 7 of the 2001 American League Championship Series. Tonight, from Seattle, Washington, Safeco Field, it is the Seattle Mariners and the Oakland Athletics. And tonight's championship game is brought to you by DigitalDice.com, the best darn podcast on the web for your sports simulation and replay needs. Find us today on Spotify, Spreaker, iTunes, or wherever else fine podcasts are listed. Tribe fan, Mike from the truck, how are you? Freddie Garcia has the honor of trying to pitch the Mariners into the World Series. He is 24 years old, fastball at 89, and a standard pitcher. He is making his 4th start of the postseason. He faced the Yankees twice through a complete game in Game 1 of the ALDS. Pitched in Game 3 of the ALCS and did not figure in the decision. 6 1/3 innings, 107 pitches, 6 hits, 4 runs all earned, 2 walks and 3 strikeouts. So overall, Freddie has pitched well, 22 innings, 17 hits, 7 runs, 5 earned. He's walked 4 and struck out 13. Juan Marichal, happy 86th birthday. I don't think he's watching, Tribe fan, but we'll throw it out there anyway. Big Dave, how are you? So Garcia has a full complement of pitches to get his team in the World Series. Johnny Damon will lead off for Oakland here in Game 7 in center field. Ramon Hernandez will bat second and catch. Jason Giambi at first will go third. Eric Chavez cleans up at third. Miguel Tejada at short will bat fifth. Jeremy Giambi, the DH, will go 6th. Jermaine Dye in right will bat 7th. Terrence Long in left goes 8th. And Menachino and his Dancing Cherries at second will bat 9th. Tribe fan says, I'm sure he's happy to be remembered, or even in the mindset of those of someone who never saw him play. A little bit before my time. Scotty, if he's here, will have seen Marichal pitch. Maybe not liked it, but saw it. Mark McLemore is a 6 3 in left as we set the Seattle defense for you. Mike Cameron a 10 5 in center. Ichiro a 10 8 in right. David Bell is a 6 at third. Carlos Guillen a 3 at short. Brett Boone a 6 at second. John Olerud a 6 at first. Dan Wilson a 7 2 behind the plate, and Garcia is an 8 on the mound with a .986 fielding percentage. You make sure I set Oakland back to the computer. It has not been a great postseason for Johnny Damon. 8 for 42, a home run, and 3 RBI. He has, however, walked 6 times and scored 9 times. And on this beautiful night in Seattle, here we go. And Johnny Damon draws a walk. A 4-pitch walk. And that'll bring up Ramon Hernandez. 10 for 35 in these playoffs with 4 RBI. So Garcia, not the start you want. And they don't really have that super long man that can eat up innings if Garcia loses the script early. Throw to first. Damon is back. They play for the bunt because Hernandez is good at that. There goes Damon to throw down to Boone, and Johnny is in there with the stolen base. So the A's using their speed to start off. And the count is a ball and no strikes. Infield playing normal now. Pitch to Hernandez. Liner into center field, and that's going to drop in for a base hit. So Damon will round third and hold. Must have been a pretty shallow hit for Damon and his speed to hold. So runners on the corners, nobody out for Jason Giambi at 286, a home run and 7 RBI. So remember, in Game 6, Oakland put a 3 spot up on the board in the first and lost. Pitch from Garcia, and Giambi walks, and they're loaded. For Eric Chavez at 267, 2 homers and 12 RBI. So Seattle and their ace haven't gotten anybody out, and the bases are loaded. And there's already stirring in the Seattle pen. Chavez does have a grand slam in these playoffs. Now you got me curious. What game was that? That was Game 2 against the White Sox in the ALDS in their 18-7 win. 4 for 24 in the ALCS with 5 RBI. Garcia, deep breath time, delivers. Fly ball, right field. Back goes Ichiro, way back there, and that's a grand slam. Eric Chavez has hit his 2nd grand slam of the playoffs, and Oakland in Game 7 jumps out to a 4-0 lead. There is an absolute stunned silence here in Seattle. Here it is again. My goodness. An absolute no-doubter. And now what does Seattle do? Yeah, granted, this was going to be a Johnny Holstaff game anyway, but goodness gracious. The good news is for Seattle, you got 27 outs. Bad news is you don't have any for Oakland yet. Here's Tejada, 341, 3 homers, and 16 RBI. That's into center field. Cameron will make the catch, 1 out. Here's Jeremy Giambi at 440, a home run and 5 RBI. Garcia is essentially in relief of himself now. Up the middle, here's Boone behind the bag, over to first, 2 out. The A's got the perfect start. Here's Dye at 195, 2 homers, and 3 RBI. Left field, or left center rather, Cameron moving over. And that will retire the side. Well, what a start for Oakland. A grand slam by Eric Chavez. And after half an inning here in Game 7, it's Oakland 4. Seattle is digging a huge hole. Now, the good news is Scotty's in a great mood. He's already swearing at the Mariners, and he's swearing at Juan Marichal. And hello, everybody. Timmy Hudson pitched in Game 3 against Seattle. Did not pitch all that well, but did not get a decision in that 7-5 win. 7 innings for Tim, 117 pitches, 8 hits, 5 runs, all earned, a homer he walked 4 and struck out 4. So if there is a silver lining for the Mariners after that half an inning, is that Hudson has been anything but lights out. 19 innings, 21 hits, 10 runs, all earned. He's given up 2 homers, 8 walks, and 13 strikeouts. 2-0 in the postseason with a 4.74 ERA. Hudson is 25 years old, fastball at 91, and a ground ball plus pitcher. The lineup that Seattle needs to now produce 5 runs at least to go to the World Series. Ichiro will lead off in right field. Mark McLemore in left will bat second. Edgar Martinez, the DH, will hit third. John Olerud at first cleans up. Brett Boone at second will bat fifth. David Bell at third will go sixth. Dan Wilson behind the plate batting seventh. Carlos Guillen at short will go eighth, and Mike Cameron in center will bat ninth. Freddie Garcia, who needed to throw an ace-like job just to get Seattle to the World Series, did anything but. He threw 24 pitches in the top of the first. Terrence Long is a 3 and a 3 in left as we set it up for Oakland. Johnny Damon a 5 and a 3 in center. Jermaine Dye an 8 and a 9 in right. Eric Chavez right now the hero for Oakland, a 10 at third. Miguel Tejada a 6 at short. Frank Mendocino and his Dancing Cherries a 7 at second. Jason Giambi a 5 at first. Ramon Hernandez a 6 and a 3 behind the plate, and Hudson is an 8 with a 9.28 fielding percentage. Ichiro has had a hit in 10 of the Mariners' 11 postseason games, hitting .311 with 9 runs scored. And Hudson starts his effort with a ground ball up the middle. Mendocino throws to first, 1 out. For Mark McLemore at .306 and 3 RBI. So a stunned silence hangs over Safeco Field. McLemore, fly ball left field, Long will track that one down for the out, 2 away. So here's Edgar Martinez. Edgar at .341, 2 homers and 7 RBI. Remember, with the Astros in the World Series, they have never been. And if the Mariners win this ball game, we'll have a rare case in World Series history where there are 2 new teams. Oakland, of course, has won it a number of times, but their last trip was 1988. Pitch to Martinez. Struck him out. Hudson got him. So no runs, no hits, and no errors. After 1 inning, it's Oakland 4, Seattle nothing. And so remember, Garcia pretty much now in relief of himself. Long at 179. Terrence has a triple and 2 RBI. Freddie starts the second with a walk. And Piniella is pacing in the dugout. Here's Mendocino. Frank 5 for 37. 135 with 3 runs scored. And Garcia has walked 3 in the ball game already. Popped up. Wilson in foul territory. 1 out. For Johnny Damon, who stole a base and scored on the Chavez grand slam. Opening 9 for Garcia. 31 pitches, an inning and a third. 2 hits. The granny by Chavez. And 3 walks. 22 years later, the M's fans still patiently wait for a World Series appearance. Getting closer every year. Long stays put. Damon draws the walk. Garcia will get Hernandez, but it's really coming down to brass tacks now. Double play gets him out of it. Hernandez singled and scored in the first. Ground ball left side, base hit, and that'll do it for Freddie. McLemore will throw it in the infield. Long will hold, and Garcia can't make it out of the second. So they're going to go with Ryan Franklin. Unbelievable. Freddie Garcia can't make it out of the second inning. Got a pitching change here in Game 7, 4-0 Oakland. Franklin is 28. He is in the frying pan already, looking at the fire, looking at the bottom of the deep fryer. He throws a curveball, fastball at 88, or 89 rather. He has pitched twice in this series. He last pitched on the 21st, a 5-2 win over Oakland, where he got the win. 2 innings, 25 pitches, a hit, and an earned run. Overall for Franklin, 8 1/3, 7 hits, 5 runs, all earned. That home run came against the Yankees on the 13th. He has walked 3 and struck out 3. Yep, Marichal played with the Dodgers. He played with the Red Sox, too. So the bases are loaded and there's 1 out. Long on third, Damon on second, Hernandez on first, and Freddie Garcia responsible for all 3 runners, with Jason Giambi, who contended for a Triple Crown, at the plate. Franklin's first offering is a ground ball left side. Long will score. Damon will hold at third, and it's 5-0 Oakland. I would not. That would be mean to send him a picture of the Roseboro incident. But Juan Marichal, I guess, does do through the mail autographs. Here's Eric Chavez. It's his grand slam that has Oakland in a tizzy. He now has 16 RBI on the postseason. They remain loaded, 1 out. Franklin deals. Base hit right field. Damon will score. Hernandez will score. Giambi struts into third. And Chavez has 6 RBI here in Game 7. It is 7-0 Oakland. And even Stratomatic has stopped compiling a win percentage chance for Seattle at this point. So Ryan Franklin has faced 2 batters and retired nobody. Here's Tejada. He's 0 for 1. Struck him out. 2-2 fastball got him swinging. So here's Jeremy Giambi, who's 0 for 1. Poor Joel Pinheiro. He's in the dugout. He can't possibly go after last night. But the job he did just to get the Mariners to this point, and it's become all undone early on. Pitch to Jeremy Giambi, struck him out. Franklin got 2, but Oakland gets 3 more on 3 hits and no errors. We go to the bottom of the second. It's Oakland 7, Seattle nothing. So Olerud, Boone, and Bell. If you're a Mariner fan, you got 24 outs. But you need something in a hurry. Olerud at .333, 3 homers and 19 playoff RBI. Hudson starts the second. Ground ball to Giambi. Takes it to the bag. 1 out. Brings up Brett Boone. Had the walk-off home, or the big home run of the 8th inning to put the Mariners on top last night. 262, 2 homers, and 4 RBI. Pitch to Boone. Line drive to right. Die. 2 out. For David Bell, 9 for 42. He does have 4 home runs and 9 RBI. Hudson's pitch. Ground ball left side of the mound. Hudson towards third. Throws to Giambi. And that will retire the side. We go to the third here in Game 7. It's the Raiders 7, the Seahawks nothing. So Dye is 0 for 1. Aaron Seeley is loosening for Seattle. Fly ball left field. McLemore, 1 out. Brings up Terrence Long, who walked and scored. This is stunning. I'm absolutely flabbergasted at this result. Pitched to Long. There's a base hit into right center field. Ichiro will grab it off the wall, and Long is into second standing. And that'll bring up Menichino, who's 0 for 1. 7 runs on 6 hits here, with 1 out in the third. Oakland sitting pretty. That will bring home another run, as that's in the corner. Long will score. Menichino is in the second standing. I wonder what the biggest blowout is in a Game 7. As Johnny Damon steps to the plate, he has walked twice, scored twice, and stolen a base. It's 8-0 Oakland. I think you got to go back to Game 7 of the 85 series in real life. Kansas City beating St. Louis 11-0. Should you bet on Seattle to come back? Well, it's fake money anyway. Why not? Pitch to Damon. They're finally going to retire him. Ground ball to Guillen over to Olerud. And that will be an out. Game 7 of the 96 NLCS. So Atlanta and I think St. Louis, right, was 15-0. This one's coming close. Ramon Hernandez has singled twice, scored twice. Ground ball to Bell. Over to Olerud. And hey, Oakland's only put up a 1 spot this inning. However, 1 more on 2 hits and no errors. We go to the bottom of the third inning here in Game 7. It's Oakland 8, Seattle nothing. Last 3 games of the 96 LCS, 14-0. That's right, because the Cardinals were up 3-1. 14-0, 3-1, and 15-0. Ouch. Mike from the truck bet on the Lions and Dolphins in real life to win straight up. Also came out ahead playing Willy Wonka's slot machine. A little over $37. Gene Wilder was good to you. Oompa loompa doopa dee dee. Yeah, no way indeed. It was a grand slam by Chavez in the first. And Freddie Garcia got fingered. Dan Wilson is 7 for 35 with 2 RBI in the playoffs. Johnny Roseboro is still one of your favorite all-time players, says Scotty. Wilson finally gets a base hit, and the Mariners at least have some offense. It's their first base runner for Seattle. Carlos Guillen at 179 and 3 runs scored. Hudson's pitch. This should be 2. Tejada. Menichino for 1. And Guillen will beat out the throw. So 6-4 on the fielder's choice. 1 out for Cameron. Hitting 150 with 3 homers and 6 RBI. Ah, you hit the oompa loompa doopa dee dee. Have you another quarter for me? So 1 on, 1 out for Cameron. In the right center, Damon moving over. Johnny puts up the glove, makes the catch, and Guillen goes back to first. So 2 out for Ichiro, who's 0 for 1. Hudson staked to an 8-run lead. 30 pitches for his opening 9, 2 2/3, a hit and a strikeout. There's a slow ground ball to Menachino, and Frank is going to bobble it. So the Mariners have 2 on and 2 out on the air. First error for Oakland. They've not fielded the ball very well in this series. Here's McLemore, who's 0 for 1. Hudson, 2 out here in the third. 8-0 Oakland. And he walked him. So the Mariners, with Edgar at the plate, can cut this lead in half right now. He struck out his first time up. Oakland can't relax. Pitch to Edgar. Let's in a base hit in the left field. Dean will score. Ichiro will take the long turnaround third and will score himself. Long will just throw it in the infield, and it's now 8-2. You got to start somewhere, and here's Olerud, who is 0 for 1. So McLemore on second, Martinez on first. And McLemore's going to go to third. The throw down to Chavez is not in time. So McLemore takes the steal. That's his 5th of the playoffs. So runners on the corners for Olerud. And maybe the Mariners can get Hudson on the ropes here. Pitch to Olerud. There's a little looper to right. That's going to drop in front of Dye. And McLemore will score. Martinez, is he going to try for third? He will. And the throw is cut off by Menachino. And it's now 8-3. For Brett Boone, who is 0 for 1. So Edgar on third, Olerud on first. And the Mariners have chopped 5 off the Oakland lead. And right now, you just think, well, it's like nothing. But if they get a couple more, they can make this a ball game again. Pitch to Boone. There's a line drive that's going to fall for a hit. Martinez will score. Olerud is going to go to third. Going to run on Dye's arm. And that will be cut off. And so now with 2 outs here in the third, it's an 8-4 ball game. For David Bell. Remember, he hit the walk-off to beat the Yankees in Game 5. Olerud on third. Boone on first. Hudson. All these runs, by the way, are unearned. Pitch to Bell. Fly ball to right. Dye in the corner, and that will be out of play. And a goat from Bellevue made that catch. So the count is full. 3-2 to Bell. And everyone here is buzzing again. The Mariners have 4 runs here in the third. It's now an 8-4 game. Pitch to Bell. Walked him. And so here is Dan Wilson. Dan is singled his first time up. Bases loaded, 2 out. Hudson has come undone here in the third. Wilson, a slow ground ball to Giambi. He'll take it to the bag, and that will end the inning. But not before Seattle has made this a ball game. 4 runs, 4 hits. All of those runs, I believe, are unearned. We go to the 4th. It's now Oakland 8, Seattle 4. So Franklin will get a couple more batters here. Jason Giambi had an RBI single and a walk and a run scored. We start the 4th. Ground ball to Boone. Brett throws it to Olerud. 1 out. For Chavez, who has had himself an MVP kind of day. A grand slam and a 2-run single, and he has driven in 6. And in this ALCS, he's only hitting .231, but he's driven in 11 runs. Line drive, first base side, foul. And the count is 1-2. Franklin deals. Fly ball, shallow right field. Ichiro, 2 out. So that'll bring up Tejada. Miguel is 0 for 2 with a strikeout. And Seattle is looking for their first clean inning of the ball game. Got him, and Franklin does his job. No runs, no hits, and no errors. We go to the bottom of the 4th here in Game 7. It's Oakland 8, Seattle 4. And so here's how this series has gone off. As you can, hum Oompa Loompa in your head. In Game 1 here in Seattle, Mark McLemore had 3 hits. The Mariners beat the A's 3-2. Oakland, however, split the 2 in Seattle. They beat him 7-1 in Game 2 behind Giambi's 3 hits. And then in Game 3, Oakland beat him 7-5. Giambi again 3 hits. In Game 4, a big grand slam by John Olerud. Seattle 5, Oakland 2. Olerud had all 5 RBIs. Oakland forced the issue, coming back to Seattle. 4-1 in Game 5. And then in Game 6, Seattle came back down from 3-0 in the first to win 4-3. And that's how we got here. So Guillen, Cameron, and Ichiro here in the 4th. Carlos, 0 for 1 with a run scored. Reached on a fielder's choice, and now walks. So 3rd walk from Hudson, a 3-1 fastball missed in. Brings up Cameron, who is 0 for 1. And Cameron gets hit. We've already had a bench-clearing brawl in this series, and that's going to do it for Hudson. You can't take the chance. So both the aces kind of get busted. Eric Hilgis, who has yet to pitch in these playoffs, but pitched a couple brilliant games down the stretch for Oakland, will come in. In real life, 5-0, 11 starts. He's 28, fastball at 94, and a ground ball pitcher. In 66 real-life innings, 70 hits, 7 homers allowed. He walked 21 and struck out 67. And pitch count-wise, he could finish this game. Ichiro is 0 for 2. He has scored. So 8-4 Oakland here in the 4th. Both the starters are gone here in Game 7. Ichiro, ground ball, base hit, left side. Guillen will round 3rd. He is going to hold right there. And Mark McLemore, if you can believe it, will come to the plate as a tying run. Wow. McLemore is 0 for 1. He has walked, scored, and stole a base. So Guillen on 3rd, Cameron on 2nd, Ichiro on 1st. 4th inning, 8-4 Oakland, but the Mariners have the tying run at the plate. Pitch to McLemore, ball 4! And Guillen will score to make it 8-5. And here comes Edgar Martinez, who now is the go-ahead run at the plate. The chat is just in a stunned silence in this one. For the record, he has a single in this game, 2 RBI, a run scored, and a strikeout. Hill just deals. Up the middle, a base hit. Cameron will score. Ichiro will hold. It's 8-6. The Mariners have 6 unanswered runs here in Game 7. All right, Tribe fan, what's the biggest blown lead in a Game 7? Here is John Olerud, by the way, who is 1 for 2. He now has 20 RBI. McLemore is the tying run, and Martinez is the go-ahead run. And Olerud already has a grand slam in these playoffs. Hill just has none stuff. There's still nobody out here in the 4th. Pitch to Olerud. Line drive to right. Die is there. Ichiro will tag and score, and it's 8-7. John predicts a walk-off homer by Scott Hatterberg. That would be amazing since he isn't on either team. Here is Brett Boone. This is unbelievable baseball. Boone is 1 for 2. He has an RBI and a single. McLemore the tying run. Edgar the go-ahead run. Hill just deals. Walked him. I guess I gotta pull Hilgis. So that hasn't worked. Who else they got? I guess you're gonna have to go with Corey Lytle. He's on short rest, but Oakland went from having an 8-run lead, swelling champagne in the dugout, to Seattle having it pretty much all back within an inning and a half. Corey pitched 4 days ago. 7 innings and a 5-2 loss. 99 pitches, 2 hits, 2 runs, and 1 was earned. This was a start. 2 walks and 2 strikeouts. 12 2/3 overall for Corey, who's 29. 8 hits, 7 runs, 6 earned. Both the home runs came in as loss to the White Sox. He has walked 3 and struck out 6. Don't know for Game 7, Tribe fan says. Biggest blown lead was 8 runs in the 1929 World Series. This team, the Philadelphia A's, were down 8-0 in Game 4 against the Cubs, and then came back to win 10-8. Corey did not work out of the pen in 0-1. That's pretty good. So David Bell is 0 for 1 with a walk. And if you had asked me 15 minutes ago whether I thought Seattle stood a chance, I would have said no. Pitch to Bell. Ground ball to Tejada. They might get 2 here. Menachino for 1. And no, this game is tied. This game is tied. Bell beats it out. And McLemore will score. The Oakland Athletics have blown an 8-run lead. And that'll bring up Dan Wilson, who is 1 for 2. Aaron Seeley will be coming in for Seattle. Wilson is 1 for 2. 2 out here in the 4th. Wilson, a slow ground ball to short. Tejada across the way. My goodness gracious, the Mariners get 4 runs on 2 hits, a bunch of walks and no errors. We go to the 5th. It is Oakland 8, Seattle 8. Now, the question is, Moyer or Seeley? I'm going to go Moyer. Lefty, righty, lefty. They're going to go with Moyer. You worry about who pitches in the World Series later. You got to get there first. Moyer is making his third playoff appearance. He's 38 years old. Changeup at 81. He pitched 4 days ago. 6 innings, a lot better than he did against the Yankees. 87 pitches, 4 hits, a run it was earned. He walked 2 and struck out 3. John, midlife crisis, said his grandfather called this the greatest inning of all time. The A's scored all 10 in the 7th. Yep, Tribe fan, the Raiders got the early touchdown and the 2-point conversion, and now the Seahawks have responded with the Matt Hasselbeck and Darrell Jackson touchdown. They go for 2, and Sean Alexander converts. 8-8. Tom Jackson's having a blast with Chris Berman. 7 2/3 for Moyer in these playoffs. 10 hits, 11 runs, 7 earned. 2 home runs. He's walked 5 and struck out 6. Jeremy Giambi, Jermaine Dye, and Terrence Long here in the 5th. Taking 41 minutes to get this far. Giambi hits a base hit into right center field. This is going to be one of those 16 to 15 games, isn't it? Here's Dye. He's 0 for 2. Again, Seeley is loosening for Seattle. And regardless of who wins this game, there is only one off day between now and the World Series. Pitch to Dye. Liner to right. Olerud snares it. Dye, by the way, turned his ankle on that play. And he's out. So Oakland will have to make a defensive replacement. Here's Terrence Long. He has a double. 2 runs scored and a walk. And what might be the craziest Game 7 you will ever see. Fly ball, right field. Ichiro in the corner. Makes the catch. Two out. Wasn't the last time in that 29 World Series the Cubs blew a lead. In the last game, Cubs blew a 2-0 lead, and the A's walked it off 3-2. Here's Benichino, 1 for 2, a double and an RBI. In the left center, Cameron comes in. We are halfway home here in Game 7, and would you believe it's 8-8? Well, I think we're playing a best of 9 here because, wow, if you joined us late and you're wondering why we're only halfway through 44 minutes in, have you missed a ball game? The A's scored 4 in the first on an Eric Chavez grand slam to make it 4-0. In the second, Jason Giambi an RBI single to make it 5-0. Then Eric Chavez a 2-run single to make it 7-0 Oakland. Frank Benichino in the third doubled home Terrence Long to make it 8-0. And then it was attack of the killer Grasshoppers. Seattle batted around in the third, scoring 4 on 4 hits. Edgar Martinez a 2-run single. John Olerud singled home McLemore, and Brett Boone singled home Edgar Martinez to make it 8-4. In the bottom of the 4th inning, they sent 9 to the plate. Ichiro now has an 11-game hitting streak. Mark McLemore made it 8-5 on a bases-loaded walk. Edgar Martinez singled to make it 8-6. John Olerud a sac fly to make it 8-7. Then David Bell on a fielder's choice made it 8-8. Pitching, it's just non-existent. Although that key error for Oakland, made by Mendocino at second, may cost them the pennant because 4 of those runs that Seattle has are unearned. So Corey Lytle is in the pitch. They'll be Guillen, Cameron, and Ichiro here in the 5th. Carlos has walked, reached on a fielder's choice, and scored twice. Struck him out. He got him on a 2-2 curve looking. Here's Blank Cameron. He's 0 for 1 with a run scored. There's a fly ball left field. Back goes Valdez. And that ball is off the wall. Valdez will grab it. Cameron is going to turn for 3. To throw to third they got him. They got him. Valdez, who is a new left fielder, as Long moves over to right, he's a 5 and a 2 as Valdez. He threw to Chavez to get him. And so it's a double thrown out trying to stretch it into a triple. So here's Ichiro. He is 1 for 3. He has scored twice. 2 out, bottom of the 5th, in an 8-8 ball game. Ground ball, base hit, left side. For Mark McLemore, who has walked twice, 0 for 1, stole third base, and has an RBI. 8 runs, 8 hits, an error for Oakland. They've left on 4. 8 runs, 8 hits, no errors for Seattle. They've left on 5. Throw to first. Ichiro is back. Ichiro's going to steal. Throw down to Tejada, and Ichiro is in there. And he has his 5th stolen base of the postseason. So a 1-ball count to McLemore, and the go-ahead run on second. Lytle's pitch up the middle. Mendocino should have it. Behind the bag, throws to first, and that will retire the side. Did you miss anything? Oh my goodness. No runs, 2 hits, and no errors. We go to the 6th in the craziest Game 7 you will ever see. It's Oakland 8, Seattle 8. And so, yep, Eric Chavez has a grand slam and a 2-run single. And after 2.5 innings, it was 8-0 Oakland. And then back came the Mariners. Oh, my goodness. So here's Damon to lead off the 6th. Jamie Moyer, again, trying to eat some innings here. Damon has walked twice, scored twice, stolen the base, and is 0 for 1. Base hit right field. Ichiro will pick it up. So that'll bring up Ramon Hernandez, who is 2 for 3 today. He has singled twice and scored twice. You know, all this in 2023, all this to set up a matchup that you'd see on Bally Sports in August. The Astros and whoever. 2 American League West teams of the future. But in 2001, it's the World Series. Pitch to Hernandez. Popped him up. Left side. It'll be Guillen. Carlos on the grass. Makes the catch. 1 away for Giambi. Jason 1 for 2. He has a single, a walk, an RBI, and a run scored. Pitch to Giambi. Ball 4, and the count, or the now, runners on first and second as the full count changeup missed low. So 1 out for Chavez, who has had himself a day and a half. He has a 2-run single and a grand slam. He has 6 RBI on the ball game and 18 in the postseason. Moyer deals. Line drive to Boone, and everybody's back safe. Brings up Miguel Tejada, who is 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts. Slow ground ball again. They should get you. No, they're going to go first, and Tejada is retired. So the A's leave on 2. No runs, a hit, no errors. We go to the bottom of the 6th here in Game 7. It's 8-8. So Edgar Martinez is 2 for 3. He has driven in 3 today with a run scored and a strikeout. Right back to Lytle, throws to first, 1 out for Olerud. John is 1 for 2. He has a single and 2 RBI. I was complaining the other day to Dave that there really hadn't been too many memorable games in this postseason. Well, the last 3 certainly have changed that dynamic, huh? Pitch to Olerud. John swings into right field. Long, who moved over to right on the injury to the eye, makes the catch. 2 out for Brett Boone, who is 1 for 2. Has an RBI, a single, and a walk. Lydell's pitch. Struck him out. We've played 6 here in Game 7. No runs, no hits, and no errors. After 6, it's Oakland 8, Seattle 8. And I got to take this call 1 second. Well, hopefully you guys got your deep breath. Here's Jeremy Giambi. He is 1 for 3 with a strikeout and a single. Pitch. There's a ground ball to Olerud. Takes it to the bag. 1 out. Here's Mario Valdez. He is in for Jermaine Dye, who injured his ankle on a pop-out at the plate. Mario 1 for 2. A single, 2 walks, and a strikeout. Pitch. Ground ball to Boone. Brett over to Olerud for the out. If they don't need to use Seeley, that'll give the Mariners a leg up if they win this game, because Aaron could start Game 1 down in Houston. With Moyer now eating up his 3rd inning, you can now go and use the regular Mariner pen. You would not need to burn another starter. Terrence Long, by the way, 1 for 2. A double. He has scored twice in a walk. Corey Lytle has done yeoman's work keeping the Mariners at bay since he came in. Long swings. That's a pop-up. Boone almost on the grass behind the bag. And that'll do it for Corey Lytle as Jeff Tam will come in. We go to stretch time here in Game 7. Go get yourself a cold one. It's 8-8. Jeff Tam will come in to pitch. He pitched in Game 1, 3 and 4. In the game 4, he took the loss in a 5-2 Seattle win. Inning in the third, 22 pitches, 2 hits, 2 runs, both earned, and a strikeout. So overall, Tam, 4 innings, 3 hits, 2 runs, both earned. He has walked 3 and struck out 2. And if you were with us about a half hour ago, would you have ever believed that we've gotten to the bottom of the 7th? We're down to the final 6 to 9 outs, and we don't know who's going to win this game? David Bell is 0 for 2. An RBI and a walk. Pitch to Bell. Up the middle, Menachino in on the grass, throws to Giambi, 1 out. For Dan Wilson, who is 1 for 3. Dan has a single. Menachino, Damon, and Hernandez for Oakland in the 8th. Pitch to Wilson. Ground ball to third. Chavez across the way. 2 out. Tam probably could go 2 if this was the case. And you know that Isringhausen is looming large for Oakland. Here's Guillen. Carlos is 0 for 2. Has walked, struck out, and scored twice. Tam's pitch. Guillen rips this one into right field. He's digging for 2. The throw to Tejada, not in time. So 2 out double for Guillen. He is the go-ahead run for Mike Cameron, who is 1 for 2, a double, and a run scored. I don't know if Mike from the truck is still with us. Mike was joking about having Seattle come back and win this game. I wonder what he would have gotten for odds at the MGM for that. Pitch to Cameron. Base hit left field. Guillen around third. Valdez will do what? What are we doing? Throws it back in the infield, and the Mariners lead it 9-8. Absolute bedlam here in Seattle. The Mariners have chopped away an 8-run deficit and are now 6 outs from the World Series. Unbelievable. Here's Ichiro. He is 2 for 4. He has scored twice. He has singled twice. He has stolen a base. And Cameron is going to try and steal. The throw down to Tejada. No. And so Cameron has his 3rd steal of the postseason. My goodness. A 1-ball count to Ichiro. Cameron, an insurance run on second. 9-8, 2 out, bottom of the 7th. Pitch to Ichiro. Ground ball to Tam towards the bag at first. Over to Giambi, and that'll do it. But the Mariners need 6 outs to win the pennant. They get a big run on 2 hits after 7. 9-8, Seattle. So Moyer probably will get a base runner. Menachino is 1 for 3. He has a double and an RBI. But it was his huge error that allowed 4 runs to score in the 3rd for Seattle. Base hit left field. McLemore will pick it up. Menachino is into second with a double. In comes Arthur Rhodes. We got a pitching change. This game coming to you from Safeco Field in Seattle. So Rhodes, has he pitched? Yes, he's pitched once in this series. That's it. He was the big winner in Game 5 against the Yankees, going 2 1/3, 29 pitches, and 4 strikeouts. Since then, he's only faced 1 batter, or 2 batters, and allowed a hit. He's 31, He throws the fastball at 93 and a ground ball plus pitcher. Mendocino the tying run on second. Damon 1 for 2. A single, 2 walks, 2 runs scored, and a stolen base. Rhodes deals, and Damon draws the FBO walk. I don't think they mind giving up a first base open walk. Here's Hernandez. Ramon is 2 for 4. He has singled twice and scored twice. First and second, nobody out. 8th inning, 9-8 Seattle here in Game 7. Pitch to Hernandez. That's a bunt. Wilson throws to first, and Hernandez is out. Jason Giambi will draw the intentional walk. So Rhodes will face Chavez. Mendocino on third. Damon on second. Giambi on first. Chavez is 2 for 4, by the way, in this ball game. He has a 2-run single and a grand slam. Seattle either wants a strikeout or a double play. And oh, by the way, McLemore, Martinez, and Olerud for Seattle in the bottom of the 8th. Rhodes and Wilson reconfigure some signs. Arthur from the stretch. Struck him out. A 2-2 cutter swung on and missed. 2 out for Tejada. Arthur Rhodes was the big hero in their Game 5 win over the Yankees. If he can get Tejada, he can be the big hero here in Game 7, along with everybody else. What a ball game. What a series. Tejada is 0 for 4. He has driven in 16 in these playoffs. He has struck out twice today. Rhodes from the set. Got him! Rhodes works out of a bases-loaded jam in the 8th. No runs. 1 hit. No errors. Speak to me, chat. Speak to me. Bottom of the 8th, 9-8 Seattle. Oh, my goodness. Yeah. Just the emoticon of just someone's head exploding is what I'm seeing in the chat. It'll be McLemore, Edgar, and Olerud to face Tam here in the 8th. At least to start, McLemore is 0 for 2. He has walked twice, scored twice, stolen a base, and driven in a run. In a game, regardless of what happens in the World Series, if Seattle wins, they will show forever and ever and ever. Pitch to McLemore. Ball 4. And we're not going to mess around as Oakland anymore. In comes Izzy. Not a save situation, of course, but you can't give up anything else. He has pitched 3 times in this series, but not since the 22nd. In fact, he pitched all 3 games in a row in Oakland. He got the save in Game 5, a 4-1 win. He went 15 pitches and struck out a man, 6 innings overall, just the 1 hit. A solo home run in Game 4, and a 5-2 loss, and he struck out 6. There is no tomorrow for sure. Edgar Martinez is 2 for 4 in this ballgame. Yep. He's driven in 3. If you were in Oakland and you went out to party after the 3rd inning, stay out of the Jagermeister, all right? Pitch to, well, throw to first, and McLemore is back. struck him out. That's what Oakland needed. A 1-2 cutter swung on and missed. One out for Olerud, who was 1 for 3. He has driven in 2. It'll be Giambi, probably Valdez, and Long for Oakland in the 9th. And it will be Sasaki to clinch the pennant. Olerud up the middle. Isringhausen goes to second for 1. And there is no time throw as Olerud will beat it out. So 1-6 on the fielder's choice. 2 out for Brett Boone, who is 1 for 3. He has walked, singled, struck out, and driven in a run. Fly ball, left field. Back goes Valdez, and we go to the top of the 9th. No runs, no hits, no errors. The Mariners left on a runner. We go to the last of the 9th, or the top of the 9th, 9-8 Seattle. So Kazuhiro Sasaki is 3 outs away from the World Series. He is 33 years old. He throws a splitter at 89 and is an extreme fly ball pitcher. In real life, he gave up 6 homers in 66 2/3 innings. In 4 appearances against, this is his 4th appearance against Oakland. He has a save in all 3 Seattle wins. He's given up 1 hit and struck out 2. "19 pitches in game 1, and the last 2 times out, 9 respectively, with a strikeout. Jeremy Giambi, 3 lefties in a row. You got Charlton if you need him, but this is Sasaki's pennant. Giambi is 1 for 4. Jeremy has singled and struck out. Got him! Oh, 1-2 fastball swung on and missed. 1 out. I don't know what Oakland will do here. They should pinch hit. Valdez is 0 for 1. Stays in the game. Struck him out. A 2-2 splitter. Oh my goodness. And so Oakland, who led this ball game 8-0 after 2.5, is down to their last chance saloon, and it's Terrence Long. He has a double and a walk. He is 1 for 3. The Seattle Mariners are 1 out away. Sasaki and 48,000 people stand as one. He winds and fires. Strike 3! The Mariners have done it! They have won the pennant in the most amazing, fantastic way you could ever see it done. They came back from 8 runs down to win the ball game 9-8. And it's Seattle and Houston in the World Series, 2 teams who have never played for a World Series. And for the Mariners, it's redemption. And for the Astros, it's redemption. 3 hours and 43 minutes of unbelievable baseball. 9 runs, 10 hits, no errors. The Mariners left on 8. 8 runs, 10 hits, 1 error. And that horrible error by Mendocino that allowed 4 runs to score. The Mariners win the pennant. Jamie Moyer gets the win, 3 innings, 3 hits and a walk. Could have pitched a lot longer. So Oakland chases Freddie Garcia for 7 runs in an inning and a third and loses. Eric Hilgis will get credit for a hold. Oh, Sean, what a ball game. It'll be on YouTube tomorrow to watch the whole thing. Tam unfortunately gets the loss. It really wasn't his fault. Isringhausen just did what he could. I gotta pick an MVP, huh? Who do you go with? I mean, Chavez drove in 6. I don't know what more he could have done. We're going to give it... I'm going to give it to Moyer. Because Jamie, 9 outs. He faced 13 batters. Nobody scored. And a point in the ball game where Seattle just couldn't get anybody out. And then Arthur Rhodes, that magnificent 8th inning. And then Suzuki strikes out the side to win the pennant. Well, I don't know about you, but I think it has to be more. That was a pretty good last couple games, huh? I don't know what Seattle would have done if they had made the World Series in real life, but the fact that they got to this series, coming back to beat the Yankees in Game 5 in Seattle on the walk-off homer by Dan Bell or David Bell, and then Pinero's amazing 6 outs and no-hit relief in Game 6 to set up Game 7, and then an 9-run comeback to beat Oakland to go to the World Series. Look out, Houston. Game 1, noon, Monday, from Houston. And the question that we have going in is, who do you bench? Edgar Martinez or John Olerud? There's no DH in Houston. We'll figure out who's going to pitch and all that when we get there. But for now, goodness gracious, Buffy St. Marie, I'm Ron Chuck, and thank you so much for watching. What a ball game. Final score, the Mariners 9, the Oakland A's 8. We'll see you Monday for the World Series. So long, everybody.